Are you ready?
My coach, Barbara H. Smith. Why did I hire her? Because she's the best.
Barbara H. Smith is a powerhouse. She just walks in the room and grabs your attention, and she does that in a way that just makes you feel loved and like she's paying attention to you. She cares about you, and she wants to see you be your best self.
She was able to dig inside and find the passion that was deep within me.
Barbara's energy is one of the reasons that I had to have her as my coach. I love the way she is real with people.
The reason I felt like I needed a coach was because I have some big goals and I needed to build my confidence. I knew that Barbara could help me do that.
I felt that I could trust her.
I would definitely recommend to get coaching from Barbara H. Smith if you feel like you need to level up your confidence. She would just help you feel like bold, like you can take on the world.
She has really shown me who I am. She has changed my mindset to a place that I know that I am more powerful today than I would have ever been if I had never met Barbara Smith.
Here we go. Here we go. So excited. It is Thursday. Oh my gosh. And we have a phenomenal guest again for you. This is the Empowering You Show. If you didn't know, let me tell you why we do this show. We do this show to showcase business owners, those people who may or may not have visibility in the community, those people who are doing great things that people don't know about. Today is no different. We are showcasing a phenomenal person, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first, I have to bring to the platform, the sensational, sexy, spicy Shani Smith coming to the platform right now.
Good day, good day, good day. It's the last Thursday of May. Can you believe that?
No, I cannot, because where is this year going? What's its hurry?
Don't know.
Slow down. I feel like Flintstones, not Flintstones, Jetsons. Jane, stop this crazy thing. Right?
Crazy. You're talking about 5 months down.
5 months down. June the 1st is this weekend. Next weekend.
Thursday. But
I'm really rushing it now. Next weekend.
It's holiday weekend, actually. So
what we got going on, Shani?
Oh my gosh, what don't we have going on? First of all, with time going so fast, you want to make sure that you block out your calendar right now for October 13th, 14th, and 15th to make sure that you lovely ladies, sorry men, you lovely ladies have yourself in Ocean City, Maryland this fall in October, because we are having the Sisters Inspire Sisters to Advance retreat. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen last year, go to the website, barbarahsmith.com. Go to the retreat tab and just take a look at some of the magnificent loveliness that happened last year. So
it was delicious last year. It's going to be even bigger and better this year. Right. So thanks for that, Shani. We also have a book coming up in August. It's launching in August. It's Empowering You as Second Anthology. It is Let Go of the Past and Step into Your Greatness. 7 lovely ladies have signed on for this Empowering You series book. And it is by far, so far so good, the best that's coming. Listen, they're telling their stories in authentic and audacious ways. You want to pick that up. We'll be giving you more information about that soon. But now is the time I'm always excited for. This next guest is a certified family nurse practitioner, psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, a United States Navy veteran, and the founder and visionary behind Her Padded Truth, a nonprofit organization serving homeless women in the Hampton, Virginia Rhodes area, with menstrual hygiene products, providing women with safe, cost-effective, and eco-friendly hygiene products. She's an advocate and healthcare provider for women's health, women's rights, with extensive adult care, geriatric services, and mental health services. Her service as a Navy corpsman led her to this calling as a healthcare provider. A native New Yorker, most of her education was attained while in the U.S. Navy, and she is academically prepared with more degrees than a thermometer, including a doctorate in nursing from Frontier Nursing University, 2 master's degrees, one in nursing from Walden University, and one in business administration from American Intercontinental University, a bachelor's degree in healthcare administration from the University of Phoenix, and an associate's degree in nursing from Medical Careers Institute. Also, a certificate in nursing that registered nurses who already have earned their bachelor's and master's and doctorate degrees get in mental health. In 2019, she opened the Convenient Healthcare Virginia, a family practice geared to serving communities of color, and she teaches about health and disease prevention it's her life's passion, with her being the owner of Ruach Counseling and Associates, a mental health firm that is geared towards training and providing churches with the tools they need to be equipped to handle members that have or suffer from mental illness. In 2021, when she opened Ruach Counseling and Associates, she was committed and is still committed to service, holistic health, and the community. It makes her a force to be reckoned with. She is a devoted Christian, a wife, a mother of 3. Is there a doctor in the house? Oh, yes, there is. Help me welcome Dr. Charlene Bell.
Hello, that was an intro, boy. I said, who that woman they talking about? Is that me?
Oh, that's it.
That is you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for just having me on the show today. I am truly honored and humbled. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You do so much in the community, Charlene. And I applaud you and apologize for calling you Charlene because I just know you for a while now. And we met some years ago when you were doing a book anthology yourself. And I immediately fell in love with what you were doing and the spirit that you have and the love that you have for all people, but especially our community. So there is no problem or issue with having you come on the show because I felt a kindred spirit when we met back then, and we just never worked together. So this is the start of, I hope, many, many occasions. So
yes. Thank you.
I love always giving way to Shani to start out and asking questions. It's a simple interview. What do you got, Shani?
I mean, first of all, I wanted to say what a phenomenal life work that you have. I mean, you are wearing not 1, not 2, like 4 capes, not coats, but capes, because to be able to do all of that and still come on here looking fabulous.
Thank you.
Phenomenal. You know, I like to think that I totally understand the struggle that many women go through, particularly Black women, when it comes to dealing with Western medicine. So I don't always subscribe to that at all, because my own experiences have been that I've been dismissed. I've been thought of as what I felt like a workhorse almost. Like, no, I'm telling you because I'm not screaming in pain. I'm in pain. I have needs. And so I kind of left that. And I think that the fact that you are a doctor first, a veteran at that, but your belief in God and how you bring that all together to really deal with the whole self, not just what the book says, what their book says for you to follow. I mean, how do you deal with that? How did you even come to that? Was it totally a God, Holy Spirit download, or how's that happen?
Well, I have to say, even when I was in the military, I was a corpsman. I believed truly that medicine was just something that I was supposed to go into. It was either that or I was going to be a comedian. And the great part about it is that I put my comedy.
Stop. Did you say or a comedian?
Because to be quite honest, I'm extremely funny, right? So just growing up, I was always able to make people laugh. And it was funny, laughter is medicine. So it was just ideal that I would go into this field. But to be quite honest, me being a veteran, African American, a Christian, a woman. I've been in those positions where I've been on the opposite side of the table where I needed care. And though my face may have not have grimaced to show the pain that I was in, I didn't look how bad off I was saying. And I always vowed to myself that I would never treat my patients in the same fashion. You know, pain is subjective. It is not objective. Right? So I can't say your 9 of pain may not look like my 9 of pain. So what I do is I assess my patients and I collaborate with my patients. I think that's really the biggest thing. I come alongside them. It's not just what Dr. Bell thinks. It's what can we do together to create a treatment plan that you will stick to? Because you have times where a provider will give you an antibiotics for an infection. Everybody has done this. And you're supposed to take it for 10 days. By day 4, you feeling really good. So what you do, you save them extra 6 pills because you already feel good. And you never finish out the treatment. But what people fail to realize is the reason why we gave it to you for 10 days is even though we know you may feel good by the 4th day, that does not mean that the infection is gone. You still need to finish out the regimen of medication. So what I try to do is collaborate with my patients so that we have a better understanding of what the treatment plan is, and also so that they can have a better outcome. The likelihood of my patients continuing with the treatment plan that we have derived together is of high success. Why? Because they're in agreement with them. It's not just me telling them this is what you're going to do. I don't profess to act like I know everything, but I believe when you bring the patient in, bring them in on the treatment plan, that they're more apt to follow the treatment.
Oh, now can I ask you, are you accepting virtual?
I was just thinking that. Is she accepting more patients? Where you located? Because I'm a doctor, for real.
So, unfortunately, but fortunately, I am not seeing any new patients because I have over 1,600 patients right now that I treat. 1,600.
1600?
1600. Now, mind you, they don't all come to me every year, but I have a patient panel of 1,600.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
I don't know why you don't expect nobody, but
so you can't squeeze us in, is what I'm hearing.
Unfortunately, not at this time. All my patients are living at this point. So when they transition or go on to glory, there may be a spot that may be open, but I can tell you right now, my patients live very long lives.
I don't want to wish death on anybody. I ain't saying that, but maybe like, on your lunch break.
I ain't trying to off nobody, but I need somebody to move out the way so I can get in where I fit in.
Oh, no, not move out the way. Oh, Lord.
They can reschedule. How about that?
Well, you know what? I'll get you guys on the wait list.
And how long is that?
So serious though. So
I am too.
We can talk offline. Talk offline about the wait list.
Okay. All right. I'm loving that.
Sorry. I got caught up.
Sorry, not sorry. Let me tell you what. When you find here's the thing, in all seriousness, that we're clowning, but in all seriousness, audience, when you find someone who is all in on bringing the patient into the conversation. So many of us have experienced, okay, what's wrong with you? What are you experiencing today? What's going on with you? And you begin to tell them, what might be your diagnosis of what's going on with you. And they begin to start writing prescription before they really understand what is the problem. So
or is this idea of what do you really want? Do you just want drugs? Do you just want pain pills? Is that the only reason why you're here? It's an assumption that you're there for it's a stereotype. And unfortunately, it's a stigma that comes with a lot of Black and brown patients when they go into facilities, and especially if they're talking about pain. So I didn't mean to cut you off, but I definitely wanted to say that.
No. It's definitely true. And what's even more scary is that you're so ready, not you, Dr. Charlene, but you, doctor person, is so ready to write a prescription for what ails you, the symptom instead of the problem. Find out what the root problem is. Let's solve that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't just write me a prescription, which is why I don't really talk about anything that's going on to certain doctors. I'm fine. I'm good. Little Advil, little Lee. I'm good. Whatever. If it is prolonged, then I might say something. But I'm not just going in there like some As soon as they get a headache, a toe ache, a knee ache, they going in talking about I'm hurt. No. I'm not that one. But for people out there who are listening and hearing from you, Dr. Charlene, someone who is genuinely and not to say that there aren't a lot of doctors that are genuinely concerned about their patients. I'm not saying that at all. But to see someone, representation matters, that looks like us and that is concerned and has the patients buying into the treatment of their situation, cause whatever it is so refreshing that both Shani and I, in all seriousness, we're not playing when we say we want to be on the wait list.
No, because you get to a place where you almost feel like I could have looked at WebMD if that's what we're doing here.
WebMD.
I've experienced. I had an elective cosmetic surgery 20 years ago, and I had an appointment. We'll just say the appointment was Tuesday, set. And I went in on Monday because I'm like, it's different, and they're like, no, it's just part of healing. I'm like, no, definitely something is different. Something's wrong. And they're like, well, no, it's just part of healing. So Tuesday, I go in and they take off the surgical tape and the incision is open. And they're like, what happened? What were you doing? I was like, backflips. Remember yesterday when I came in, I told you like something feels different. That was that. Something feels different. Like, oh yeah. So we're just gonna have to. We'll stitch it up.
Yeah.
It'll be a light anesthesia. I was like, no, sir. You will numb it and I will be watching you.
Yeah. I try to really educate my patients on advocating for themselves, even when they're in the office with me. And the reason why that's important is because sometimes when you are uneducated about your own health and how your own body works, you'll be more apt to just believe what someone tells you. So I think that it's important for my patients, I educate them on this is what the numbers of your labs mean. This is what a RDW is. This is what it means when your H&H is low. This is what it means when your A1C is this way. I think that that's really important because then they can advocate for themselves. If they ever move away, they can say, oh no, I know that my A1C is typically a 5.6. I don't understand why it's trending this high. Or, typically when I take, my blood pressure is never this high. My blood pressure normally ranges, in the low 100s, systolically, and in the 80s or 70s diastolically. They're able to say those things with feeling confident and not feeling intimidated by another provider talking to them. So advocating for yourself is very important.
Oh my gosh, is it? And being able to have that education helped by a physician. So
yes.
This is not directed at the physician that's in front of me, but there's a reason they call it practicing medicine.
Yes. Because nothing is 100%. Nothing's 100%.
And nobody is the same.
Exactly. One person who I don't get. Yeah. And what we try to do. So there's some ailments or there's some health conditions where you have seen it so much that it's trending. So it trends so much in a way over time. Okay, we know that this particular medication will help with this disease.
Right.
But whenever I have a patient that comes into my office, no one patient is the same and no one blood pressure is the same. So where I can treat someone with lisinopril, I can't treat the other person with that. I'll probably have to use a metoprolol or something different. So I think that it's important that we don't look at patients as a one size fits all, because it's not. Mm-hmm. Every patient is individual and unique. And though it may be the same disease process, it doesn't mean that the person processes it the same way.
Ooh, I like that.
So, yeah.
Because you know how those commercials are, and you're like, wait, I said I have this, and you hear all my chances of heart attack, death, suicide. Like, wait a minute. I'll take the devil I know versus that. I don't.
Right.
Am I going to die?
My blood pressure down with abruptly or whatever it is. I'm like,
abruptly.
Yeah, I can die from this. I have seizures. I'm not taking that.
Right.
But you know what? Do you know why they say all those things?
To keep from being.
I'm going to tell you because it happened to somebody.
I'm going to tell you why. Yeah, because whenever they're doing clinical trials, regardless if they give you the real medication or the placebo, even say for Tylenol, right? they say may cause sneezing or something like that. Let's just say something ridiculous. That's not Tylenol, but let's say that. That means someone in a clinical trial who was taking Tylenol sneezed. They didn't know if the sneezing was caused by the Tylenol. So they have to say, well, we don't know what caused it. So, hey, it may cause sneezing. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it will cause that particular thing. But whenever you're doing a clinical trial, if something winds up happening within the clinical trial, you're testing basically. So it could be the medication that's causing it. But that's the reason why you see all those. It is scary because it's like, wait a minute, why would I want to take Claritin? Like, yeah, may cause your throat to close. Like, I don't want to take that mess.
I can't breathe. I'm gonna need
exactly
with it. Like, what percent of people sneezed? Tell me that.
Exactly.
Then I'll take my chances. Can we talk about your work with her padded self? Is it her padded self?
Oh, her padded truth. So I'm glad that you can answer that. So her padded truth is my heart. It is my nonprofit organization. I've had it for years. And the reason how it even came about, I couldn't sleep one night, and I was just tossing and turning, like typical people do. And I decided to scroll through Facebook. Now it's like at midnight, so I'm like, let me go ahead and scroll through Facebook. And as I'm scrolling through Facebook, I see a documentary about women in New York who are homeless and what they have to do to catch their feminine flow. And I was instantly intrigued. And I was like, what? I never even thought of or considered women not having access to menstrual hygiene products. And I remember I was living downtown Newport News, and I was on my way to my favorite little spot, Chickasee, and I was gonna get me a pint of gizzards, fried extra hard, right? And I remember there was a woman who was walking down the street, and she was homeless, and you could tell that there was some mental instability that was there. And as she was walking down the street, she had on gray sweatpants, and there was blood on the back of her sweatpants. And as she was walking, people were just pointing and laughing, and nobody was doing anything. And something in me was like, well, this woman, obviously, if she knew she was bleeding on herself, she would do something about it. But not only was she on her cycle, but then she did not have awareness of what was going on. And I remember taking her up to the McDonald's up the street and getting a hot cup of water and taking her in the bathroom so she could at least wash herself up, and getting her, some clean underwear and stuff like that from like the local Dollar General, some shorts and some underwear. And it just dawned on me, literally, it just dropped in my spirit. It was a God idea, her padded truth. And I was like, what? I was like, okay. So I started to really delve deep into what we now know as menstrual poverty and what happens with people who suffer from menstrual poverty. You may think we always would see commercials of people in third world countries who didn't have, menstrual hygiene products. And, a lot of organizations was geared towards sending menstrual hygiene products overseas. But we had people right here in the state of Virginia. Now, I'm from New York. I'm a New Yorker. And we had people right here in the state of Virginia where I lived in who did not have access to menstrual hygiene products. And at the time, the jails and the prisons in the state of Virginia did not provide menstrual hygiene products to their female inmates. They had to have, in order for you to have a menstrual hygiene product and you happen to be in jail, somebody had to put money on your books. If no one put money on your books, you want to know what you would use? You would tear up sheets, you would use toilet paper, and you would make makeshift tampons to use in prison. Now, mind you, prisons are a multi-billion-dollar industry. And you mean to tell me that women couldn't get free menstrual hygiene products? So I really went on, I was not only livid, but I was on a mission. I was on a mission to teach everybody, whether you had a vagina or not, about menstrual equity and about menstrual health and about what women who don't have access to these products, what they have to do. Even young girls were missing countless days of school because they didn't have menstrual hygiene products. And schools were not given funding for menstrual hygiene products. So a lot of the nurses were using money out of their own pockets to buy menstrual products so that they give to students and things of that nature. But since then, oh my gosh, since Her Padded Truth has started, we have covered over 15,000 periods here in the United States and over 5,000 periods in Africa. So I am extremely excited about that. Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. I almost about to cry because I never even
Never considered it.
And even
Did you know that
even
you were
in the
taxed?
store, I'm like, this is a lot of money. You know, I know I
Yeah.
don't even think about people who can't buy it. I've never even thought about that. Oh,
Well, I want to give you something else to think about. Did you know that you have to pay tax on your menstrual hygiene products? So before COVID hit, the legislation here in Virginia, we were fighting hard to remove something called tampon tax. So condoms are considered a medical necessity, but tampons and pads are not. I found that to be really funny because it is a choice to have sex. But it's a choice to have sex, right? You can choose to have sex.
right.
For many women, they can't, unless they're going to use some sort of contraceptive to do, to eliminate their menstrual cycles medically. But having a period is something that typically happens every month. So why is it that you can tax what happens to me naturally every month, but you don't tax condoms for men? There's no tax if you buy condoms. So for years, women were being taxed just to have their period. When you think about it, if you go into government buildings and the female would go into the bathroom, you would have to pay for a tampon or a pad. But they were giving out condoms free in school. So for me, I found it to be egregious to women, even women's rights, for you to tax me for something that happens or penalize me for something that happens to me naturally.
No pun intended.
But yet, no pun intended, so that was a good one. But, it's really important. It's really important for us to be aware of what menstrual equity is and how menstrual poverty affects us all.
That is
mind blowing.
It is.
So let me ask you, if you know, Planned Parenthood, I know that you can get condoms there. Do they give out any menstrual products at all?
They don't.
Wow.
You got me speechless. That's not happened since we've been on this show.
And I can also say, when COVID hit, it was very hard. I had an entire storage unit filled with menstrual hygiene products. But when I would try to donate the menstrual hygiene products to, say, shelters and things of that nature, they wouldn't take them. And at first I'm like, well, you can't get COVID through your vagina. Like, I know how this works. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's something new I don't know about. Okay. But what I noticed, even through COVID, was that a lot of the shelters were run by men. And a lot of the women who were in the shelters did not feel comfortable with going to, males asking for menstrual hygiene products.
That doesn't make sense,
right?
No, it doesn't. So I went on a quest to really educate men what menstrual equity was, how it affected women, but also how they could come alongside and be allies to help us in the plight to end menstrual poverty.
That is so good. And you have dropped so many nuggets and so much information and enlightened, inspired, engaged us in this conversation. But we are going to commercial break. Don't you go anywhere, because we got more of Dr. Charlene Bell and all of the wonderful things she's doing to help women in women's health. Mental health coming up next, though. We need to talk about that.
Awesome.
Okay, that part.
I am a child of the Most High God. He has gifted me in ways that I could not even imagine and didn't know.
There was a time when I didn't know who I was. I listened to other people tell me who I should be, what I should do. I listened to people telling me that I should be a boutique owner, that I should be a construction manager, that I should be a laborer. Have you ever felt like you should do something else, be something else, go somewhere else, be wherever you wanted to be, and you felt like you were in a box? Anybody in the room? And you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? And you kept trying to go and you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? But let me tell you, you need to rock the box. Rock the box.
engaging, inspiring, and empowering. I would give you everything I know. Just by touching you, if I could, by osmosis, give you every single thing I've learned, I've gone through, I know I would. We know that's not possible, but as it is possible, I love to share information with people.
Some of you out there, people have told you that you can't be, you can't have, you can't do. But I will tell you, like Kinston said, you can, you must, and you will. If it's to be, it's going to be me. You got to say it. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be.
Barbara is because she believed what her mama said about her and not what other people told her.
Every day you wake up, when you're in a situation, it's your choice whether it's an advantage or the disadvantage.
She gained her confidence and her life, and now she is a testimony.
If I can help you elevate yourself, then I feel like I'm elevating my own self as well. What you know and I know together can change the world.
And just like that,
this time.
we're back. I'm so grateful to be back with you. Listen, we have a free ebook if you are interested in becoming a better communicator. How to speak with power, how to present with power is on your shelf as soon as you press click and download. So check it out. It is How to Present with Power. You can go to the website or follow the link that Mark Theoretti put on the bottom right now. I'm just saying.
It's bit.ly/capital BHS, capital F, free ebook, capital E. Before we get into mental health, I'm just dying to ask Dr. Bell. I'm sorry, Barbara, but I just have to. Do you accept donations of any kind for someone who's out? I'm in Delaware. I actually don't pay sales tax at all, but I'm in Delaware. And if I wanted to make a monetary donation, or if I had something where I could ship it, do you accept donations for?
Most definitely. Yes, I do. Actually, last year I went to Ghana and I was able to bless, we went to Ghana. We were in Winneba, which was a beautiful village in Ghana. And we were able to bless a village called the Akusa Village. And they have a small local clinic. And we were able to help provide 5,000 menstrual hygiene products to that clinic, which actually serviced the entire village. This village had well over 100 women in it, young girls as well. And because of our donations, we were able to, they were able to go to school. So yes, I accept donations. If it's any monetary donations, we have a Cash App, and you can send that to $Her Padded Truth, and I'll make sure you guys get that information. Or you can just contact me directly via my social media platform and inbox me. Mail us menstrual hygiene products. We will accept that as well. We are going back to Ghana this December, which I am super excited about. I'm looking to cover at least 10,000 periods at their local hospital and do a pad drive there. So yes, bring the menstrual hygiene products on. I will accept.
All right. Awesome. And so your information and awareness is more in addition to what I want to also get, but we'll get at that after the show is over. And I want to ask you about that. Yeah, because we got to spread the word. There is so much information that you just gave that I was totally unaware of, oblivious. You know, we are privileged in our own right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because when I go to Kenya, well, we'll be going in July. There is so much that we take for granted And my sister just got back from Egypt last week.
Mm.
She said, I got to get rid of stuff. This is called hoarding, right? Because I said, I knew that when you went, your reality of what we have that we take for granted, like
exactly, yes.
You can't drink the water out of the faucet. There is no way.
Correct.
You know, and we just turn the light switch on and the lights come on.
And know it's coming on. Right.
Well, in some villages, there is no light switches. There's no electricity.
Right.
And so the things that we take for granted, like having products for feminine hygiene, it is just, again, it's just speechless. And I applaud you and your foundation for all the work that you're doing. Really,
thank you so much.
That God did that Holy Spirit download and took action. Because here's the thing,
right?
We get Holy Spirit downloads all the time.
Ignore them.
But there's a talk about it spirit. There's a do it spirit, right? Some of us talk about it, and some of us don't be about it. So if you're not just talking about it, you're being about it. I'm so proud and grateful to know.
Thank you.
And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Something that's really coming up in the media today that should have been in the media a long time, and that's mental health care. All of us could use some mental health care. Let me speak about me. I could use some mental health care. And there's stuff that we carry.
Yes.
We carry not only past hurts, unforgiveness, all these things, but we also carry trauma in our DNA. Let's be real.
And we've been groomed to carry it.
Yeah. What do you say about getting help today, mental health help today to our community?
So the way I look at it, to me, Jesus was also a therapist, right? Because he counseled, he comforted, he spoke life into, he affirmed. I think that it's very important to be able to speak with someone about the issues that you're having that is an expert, not just a friend, just hearing you out. Sometimes what we'll do is we'll go to people that are like-minded like us. So we'll get to hear what we want to hear, but not truly get to hear the words that will help to transform us and change us. True. I think when it comes to therapy or any type of mental illness, especially as it relates to Christianity, I find it as as someone who also does psychotherapy in my practice, I think that it's important to destigmatize what mental illness looks like. And sometimes you have people, I created an initiative called Healthy Church. And I started, it was funny how it came about. God just spoke to me in a way that surrounds medicine. And I said, okay, well, yeah, we do. I talk to God in public. I have a whole shirt that says that. But how I preface it is this. When you're sick, you go to a triage center, right? Or you go to this doctor. What they do is they triage you. Before you even get to the doctor, you're being triaged to find out what's going on. That's how I look at the altar when you go up for prayer, right? So you go up for prayer, that is the triage. While you're in triage.
When you say triage, for those of us who may not know what that is.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
All right, great. So when you go to, say, a hospital, because I look at the church as a hospital, before you go to the back room to see the doctor, they take you to a triage room. The triage room is a room where someone sits down with you to find out what ails you. They do your vital signs, because if it's something that is acute, they may be able to fix it right there in the triage room, right? So it's almost like the pre-op, before you go see the doctor. So I look at the altar the same way when you go up for prayer. That is the triage. The parishioner or the person, you know, the intercessor is asking you, what is it that you're going through? You know, what would you like prayer for? You tell them what it is that you would like prayer for. They pray for you, right? So in triage, once we find out what's wrong, how long have you had this issue? Have you taken anything to help make it better? Things of that nature. If that's a no, we do your vitals. We may draw some blood if we have to. And then we come up with a treatment plan, right? I see the altar the same way. When the intercessor is praying for you and calling out those things that are necessary to call out, that God is downloading to them, whatever generational curses that you may have over your life, whatever pains or things of that nature that may ail you, and they are calling that out, they are giving you a prescription, right? Just how if you were getting triage, okay, you have an upper respiratory infection, here's a Z-Pack, here's some prednisone. If you are going to a hospital, they'll say, I would like to follow up with you in 7 to 10 days to ensure that the medication that I gave you works. A lot of times the issues that we have in church is there is triage, but no follow-up. So I give you the prescription, but I don't know if it worked because you haven't come back to me and I haven't done a follow-up. So that's where Healthy Church came into play. Healthy Church was designed to help churches to identify members in their churches who were suffering or going through a mental crisis. You want to know why? Because sometimes it's hard to identify a demonic attack from a chemical imbalance.
Come on.
Not saying that there's not a demon that is in operation. However, if someone is out of their right mind, it may be hard for them to receive the words you're trying to give them until they can be stabilized on some medication. For some, they may not need medication. You can rakabashata and take it out, right? But in other cases, you can. But I have to say that because I believe in God and medicine.
Right.
Luke was a whole physician.
A whole physician.
So if God didn't believe in the power of, his might, but also in the power of physicians and doctors and things of that nature, I doubt that he would have a man who happened to be a doctor who would go around to show, medicine, but this was God's power. So I don't negate the power of God, and I don't negate medicine. I just feel as though we don't have to be as heavily reliant upon it when we are in tune with the great physician. So that's where Healthy Church came about. So what I do is I help to educate and I train lay members in churches to become mental health first aid coaches, mental health first aiders. And what it does is it helps to take a lot of the pressure off the pastor. Because to be quite honest, many of your pastors are not licensed or educated to do mental health counseling. They're just not. And what a lot of churches have done in the past is they have operated in these particular facets without really having the education or credentials behind them. And what they do is they make the person even more fragmented than when they came to them in the first place. So
they start saying that, the Holy Spirit can heal you. Yes, Holy Spirit can heal you. The power of God can heal you. But sometimes there's more necessary, some coupling with the Spirit of God with either medication or mental health professionals that are trained to talk you through psychotherapy, through whatever issue you're going on. Our church has been notorious on a whole, not every church, notorious on the whole for stigmatizing mental health as you either crazy or you haven't been delivered.
And I find that to be egregious in a way, because I use this, and this may be a little bold for your viewers, so I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna say it because I say it all the time. When I look at hypertension, when I look at diabetes, when I look at erectile dysfunction, I don't see pastors a lot of times. If there is one, I have never seen, but in my lifetime, Charlene Bell's lifetime, I've never seen anyone casting out a demon out of a man who has out of erectile dysfunction. I've never seen anyone laying hands on the member and causing that thing to rise up like Lazarus. I just have not seen that. And for me, I find it poor service that you could When you look at someone who's taking an antidepressant, you don't look at someone who's taking an erectile dysfunction medication the same way. It's still a medication.
Right.
Right? So if we would stop looking at mental illness as something totally different than any type of health issue, it's still a health issue. It's no different than diabetes. It's no different than hypertension. It's no different than erectile dysfunction. It's no different than cancer. It is a health condition, right? So if we can destigmatize mental illness and really be able to equip our churches, especially our urban churches, equip them with the necessary education that they need so that, you know what, if you're not equipped to handle this, after you have prayed and tarried over that person and you have cast out devils, all right, now what we can do is we can help to bring them in therapy. Where did the root start? How do we make sure that it doesn't replant itself? What tools and techniques can we give you in coupled with prayer and fasting to help you to become a whole person? And I think sometimes we want to take the responsibility. I want to take the ownership of healing you. God does the healing.
That's
So
right.
I don't look at it as if, oh yeah, I gave them that pill, they're healed. No, the prayer that I prayed helped. Okay, my faith in you being healed, that's what helped you to get better. So that's what Healthy Church is all about, really helping to bring awareness and equipping churches, especially in our urban communities, with the tools and techniques that they need so that they can have whole Christians, completely whole Christians. So yeah.
Oh, that was so good. Oh my God. So how do you get involved with Healthy Church? I mean, is there a program? Is there literature? I know all the answers to this, but is there something?
So Healthy Church will be officially launching in the fall. Currently, I'm working with other churches and organizations to see if they are even interested. Many churches don't want to have train their people. Many pastors don't. And you have to think about it. Some pastors want them, no, my people will just come to me. And that's okay. But I think that it's important. I'm a lifelong learner, but I think that it's important to make sure that you have advocacy. I think that every church should have a health department, regardless of how big your church is. If it's just that one CNA, have her. Okay. I believe that those things are necessary. Why? Because the idea is not for you to always stay small. So I think on a bigger scale. So people can contact me directly via social media, things of that nature, but it will be plastered all through social media come the fall of signing up for Healthy Church and really getting lay members trained. So I'm super, super excited about that.
That's
we want to promote your business, not just here on the show, but outside of the show. We want
Thank you.
In the women's retreat, we want information and literature. You said in the fall, we're doing our retreat October 13, 14, 15. We got to get.
Oh, then you'll have it. You'll definitely have it before then. Yes.
Paraphernalia and some other stuff from you to make awareness and on a larger scale, because we are targeting C-suite directors and women who, like yourself, constantly pour into other people, but very rarely get poured into. And our conference in October is in the beautiful city of Ocean City, Maryland. And we are bringing women from around the globe together to inspire each other. And so we hope that you will be considering coming. But in the meantime and in between time, we want to get the literature from you to share with them. We want to empower them in every which way we can.
Yes, that would be phenomenal. Yes, thank you so much.
Now, I know you have a gift for our audience. It's streaming across the bottom. Can you tell us a little bit about the story of her?
Yes, I can. So I am also, in my spare time, a documentarian. I have always loved film. I have always loved the power of telling stories. And May of last year, I wanted to do an ode to women. And another God idea, it was like my husband had bought me all this equipment. He was like, what you gonna do? I said, I think I'm gonna start doing films. He's like, that you wanna do that too? I was like, why not, And the story of her is ode to women. It is a story of 5 amazing women telling their truth, talking about the tragedies that they've gone through, but also the triumphs on the other side, and how God can really turn give you beauty for ashes. And this documentary is really something that will not only touch every woman, but touch every male as well. If you have a sister, an auntie, a grandma, this is something for you to watch. I'm super excited that we were picked up by Apple TV. I mean, I'm a little black girl from the Bronx, okay? To know that, God has graced me with the vision to be able to carry out this ministry is phenomenal. And the great thing about Story of Her, our documentary was been picked up and nominated for 2 film festivals. So we'll be going to New York next month. I'm super excited about that. And then we have another film festival that we'll be screening at in Charlottesville, and a few others that we are keeping our fingers crossed for. We're currently working on our next documentary called Identity. And this is going to really discuss how we see ourselves. We'll be talking I have a lot of patients who deal with gender dysphoria, and we'll be talking about how they identify. Also I have patients who are biracial, and just talk about how identity shapes us and how it's a prism, and try to really create a dialogue again amongst one another. I don't have to always agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. But as the Bible says, we can reason together. So I am super excited about Identity, that will be showcasing in the late fall, early, wintertime frame. But I'm really excited about that. But yes, please go to Apple TV, Story of Her. I can assure you, get your tissues because you're going to cry. But you really see how God blesses and transforms the lives of these women, how you can go through a dark time, but how you can find purpose in what it is that you go through, and how God can use, what the enemy meant for bad for your good. So this is truly my ministry. And I just thank God for blessing me with the vision and trusting me to carry it out. So
it seems like everything you touch turns to gold.
I say that with full. Yes. And you know what? I don't say that as pompous, but everything that God places in my hands, I do it with the best of my ability, because he's graced me with it. He's trusted me with it. And because he's trusted me enough with it, I have no choice but to do great things with it. So these hands is blessed. Ask my pap smear patients. Hands are blessed. My prostate patients too. These hands are anointed, no pain. So
not the pap and prostates, not the pap and prostates.
That's right. That's right.
Well, we are at the top of the hour already. Oh my God. This has been a phenomenal conversation with Dr. Charlene Bell. Oh my God. You have dropped so many nuggets on us. You have opened up our eyes and our hearts to the missions that God has created in you and through you. And people are being blessed all over the world. I'm so, so grateful to have ever met you and now introduce you to our over 200 countries that subscribe to the channel. Yes.
Thank you.
We are applauding you, and you are a force to be reckoned with in the community. So thank you so much. Shani, did you want to say something else before we talk about these last few moments that we have with Dr. Charlene Bell?
I mean, other than we're going to talk in the green room about how me being a virtual patient works, I just want to thank you really for shining the light on it, because I really, as a woman, never thought about another woman not having pads. And I almost feel embarrassed, or stupid, almost. Wait, duh, we all need it, And I'm just so grateful that you're doing what you do. I encourage anybody to reach out to you and start something in their own area as well.
Yeah. Please let me know. Pad drives all over. Yeah, if you want to start up a pad drive and collect donations in your local area, that is great. Ms. Barbara Smith, you're going to Kenya, you know what I mean? Let me know. We could have a Her Pad of Truth in Kenya. There are vaginas all over the world that need pads. So it would be great. Let's start an initiative. I'm a vaginal enthusiast. This is what I do. I'm a vaginal enthusiast.
Check out your comedy right at the end again, okay?
That's what I am. I am. I'm a vaginal enthusiast, and I am all in support. So uterine power to all.
Because you need us. Let's just face it, right?
Don't get it twisted.
It's right.
This has been a phenomenal conversation. I hope it has also been for you. Ladies, don't forget, we have a retreat coming up October 13, 14, 15. You need to be in the place. If you are doing anything in business and you don't pour into yourself, this is where you need. The information is going to be coming out soon. We want you to know it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So thank you so much again, Dr. Bell, for being here. Thank you for all.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Community. Continue. We pray God's blessings over your life, over your ministry, over your practice, over you and your family. We pray God's blessings over everything you've done and is going to do with the help of God.
Thank you.
Just know that greater is coming, because greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. Thank you so much, Shani Smith, for being here with me. You always by my side. I cannot even think without this lady next to me. Sometimes it's just off the chart that she has to help me think. But I am so grateful for you all the time, always there, always present, always thinking, always supporting, always doing. And I thank you so much for that. That's our show for today, ladies and gentlemen of the audience. You have not seen nothing yet. We got more sensational guests coming up. We got more sensational products and services to help you, serve you, believe in you, uplift you, empower you, and inspire you. We are BHS and Associates, the Empowering You Show, and we want you to know what time it is. What time is it? I don't have a watch, but I know what time it is. It's time for you to step into your greatness, because the world is truly waiting for you. Thank you, Dr. Charlene Bell. Thank you, Shani Smith. Thank you, Mark Lee, Dr. Eric Kelly III. Oh, my goodness. Dr. Eric Kelly III for having us have a show. Thank you, Lord. See you next week.
Yeah, Wall Street hackers are coming up next.
Engage, inspire, empower. That's what I help you do as a celebrity, speaker, trainer, and coach. Hi, I'm Barbara H. Smith, known as the Masterful Presenter. I am the one that can help you dig deep inside your passions and deep inside your life to get you to the place you always dreamed.
I had the pleasure of hearing Miss Barbara Holmes Smith speak today, and just from her speaking to me today, I have realized that I need to have personalized my alter ego and be able to put myself out there a lot more.
I help through speaking techniques, teaching you how to use your words and your body language to inspire people to come up higher.
Today's presentation with Ms. Barbara was just outstanding. She has really helped me with her personality, with her being so genuine and passionate about what she believes in and helping to coach, train. Her sense of humor, her energy is just incredible.
How do I do that? By coaching and speaking and training. I help you with whatever it is that you want to do next. What is your next? Are you ready to take your life, your career to the next level? I can get you there. Contact me at www.barbarahsmith.com.